Constitution Day quiz in English. Indian Constitution Day quiz, questions and answers. When is Constitution Day celebrated in India? November 26. Why is Constitution Day celebrated? To commemorate the adoption of the Indian Constitution on 26 November 1949. When did the Indian Constitution came into effect? 26 January 1950. Who is known as the father of the Indian Constitution? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Constitution Day is also known as National Law Day or Samvidhan Diwas. In which year was Constitution Day officially declared? 2015. Who declared 26 November as Constitution Day? Government of India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Which committee drafted the Indian Constitution? The Drafting Committee. Who was the chairman of the Drafting Committee? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Who was the President of the Constituent Assembly? Dr. Rajendra Prasad. How many members were originally in the Constituent Assembly? 389. When was the final draft of the Constitution adopted? 26 November 1949. How long did it take to draft the Constitution? 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. Who wrote the calligraphy of the original Constitution? Prem Bihari Naren Raisada. In which language was the original Constitution handwritten in? English and Hindi. Where are the original copies of the Constitution stored? Library of Parliament House, New Delhi. How many articles were there originally in the Constitution? 395 articles. How many schedules were there originally? 8. What is the current number of schedules? 12. What type of government system does the Indian Constitution establish? Parliamentary system. What does the Preamble declare India to be? Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Which amendment added the term secular to the Preamble? 42nd Amendment in 1976. Which part of the Constitution deals with the fundamental rights? Part 3. How many fundamental rights are guaranteed? 6. Who is the first person to talk about the Constitution for India? M.N. Roy. Which article deals with the right to education? Article 21A. Which part of the Constitution includes Directive Principles of State Policy? Part 4. Which article gives special status to Jammu and Kashmir before removal? Article 370. Which amendment removed the special status of Jammu and Kashmir? Abrogation under Constitutional Orders 2019. Which article deals with the emergency provisions? Article 352. Which schedule contains anti-defection law? 10th schedule. Which article deals with President's rule? Article 356. Who was the first President of India? Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Who was the first Chief Justice of India? Justice H.J. Kanya. Which amendment is known as the mini constitution? 42nd Amendment. Which country has the longest written constitution in the world? India. From which country's constitution did India adopt the idea of fundamental rights? USA. From which country's constitution did India adopt the idea of parliamentary system? United Kingdom. Which country inspired India to include Directive Principles in its constitution? Ireland. Which article deals with equality before law? Article 14. Which language or languages is the constitution available in? English and Hindi. Who can amend the constitution? Parliament. Which part deals with the union territories? Part 8. Which schedule lists Indian states and union territories? First schedule. How many amendments have been made to the constitution so far? As of 2025, above 105 amendments were made. When was the Constituent Assembly formed? 1946. Who was the Vice President of the Constituent Assembly? H.C. Mukherjee. Who gave the famous speech Trust with Destiny? Jawaharlal Nehru. Which part deals with elections? Part 15. Which body conducts elections in India? Election Commission of India. Which article abolishes untouchability? Article 17. The day when Indian Constitution came into effect is known as the Republic Day. The calligraphy of the Hindi version of the original Constitution was done by Vasant Krishnan Vaidya. What is the full name of B.R. Ambedkar? Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. How many members have signed the Indian Constitution? 284. How many countries' constitution was studied by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar before making the Indian Constitution? About 60 countries. Who wrote the preamble to the Indian Constitution? Jawaharlal Nehru. Where was the Constitution of India published? Dehradun. The Constitution Drafting Committee of India had dash members. 7. Which is the longest written constitution in the world? The Constitution of India. Which is the world's smallest constitution? The Constitution of Monaco. Who is known as the architect of the Indian Constitution? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. When were the words socialist and secular added to the preamble of the Indian Constitution? 1976. Which act was replaced by the Constitution of India as the country's fundamental governing document? The Government of India Act 1935. When did the rights to education came into effect? April 1, 2010. How many articles are there in the Indian Constitution? This is for you. Comment your answer below.